Good morning and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Amber Lankford and this is Sunrise Stretch. For today's stretch class, we're going to begin standing, but we are going to make our way down onto the ground. We're going to be laying on our stomach, and we do have a few that will be on our hands and knees. So if you haven't already, I would recommend either rolling out that yoga mat or moving to a comfortable surface that you are okay with laying down or kneeling on. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with our feet about hip to shoulder width apart. And we're going to start with reaching up. Hands reach out to the side and up to the ceiling. Taking a big inhale and then exhale. Reaching those hands wide and back down to our sides. We're going to do 5 here. Inhale up. And exhale down. Trying to stretch as far out to the side and as tall as we can. Let's do one more, inhaling through that nose. And big exhale through our mouth. Next, we're going to lace our fingers together in front of our body, keeping our elbows straight. We're going to lift our hands up to shoulder height. And from this position, I want you to press those hands forward, reaching horizontal, pulling those shoulder blades apart. We're going to do a few deep breaths in this position, trying to reach out as far forward as possible. And bending those elbows, we're going to flip our hands. So now our palms are facing away from our body, and straighten as far as you can. Pressing those hands forward, stretching out our hands. Stretching out our forearms. Good. From here, lifting those hands all the way up to the ceiling. Stretching tall. And go ahead and flip your hands back so our palms are now facing down. We're going to take one step out with each foot, and we're going to lean both hands over towards the right, opening up that left side body, stretching out our lat, lengthening through our arms and our spine, making that nice C shape here. Bringing those hands back up to the top, reaching up, and then over towards the left, stretching out that opposite side. Still focusing on getting as much length as possible here. And bringing those hands back up to the top. Unlacing those fingers and bringing our hands back down to our side. We're going to focus on those inner thighs next. So we're keeping that wide stance. Feet are still facing forward. We're going to bend our right knee, shifting our weight. We're going to keep that left leg nice and straight, shifting our hips over, stretching that inner thigh on our left leg. If you're not feeling much of a stretch here, you can widen that stance and then sink back into that little mini side lunge here, bracing your hands either on your thigh, or you can move and use a supporting surface like your desk or the back of your chair to kind of hold on to and help you balance here. Let's do one more big inhale and exhale, straightening back up to the top. We're going to switch sides, bending that left knee, straightening that right, opening up those adductors, stretching our inner thighs. Taking nice deep breaths here. And coming back up to a tall stand, we're going to turn our feet out to about a 45-degree angle. And now we're going to bend both knees. Knees are going out wide. We're bracing our hands right on top of our thighs, using those hands to push our knees out, opening up both of those inner thighs. We're just going to hold, taking those nice inhales through our nose and exhaling through our mouth. Trying to sink deeper into that sumo stance here. And dropping that right shoulder, we're going to look up and twist towards the left, adding some nice rotation through our spine. Looking back to center, we're going to switch and rotate over to the right, dropping that left shoulder down and looking up towards the ceiling over that right shoulder. Looking back to center, we're going to slowly stand back up, keeping our legs in this position. Hands are forward. We're going to reach our hands down towards the floor, reaching as close as we can, letting our head hang and relax. Trying to keep your knees as straight as possible. Trying to get a little bit closer to the ground with each exhale here. Go ahead and walk both of your hands over towards your right foot, keeping both knees nice and straight. You can brace your hands on the ground, on your thigh, or on your shin, reaching as low as we can. Sinking a little bit deeper with each breath. And now walk your hands back to center and then over to that left foot. Same thing here, trying to reach as close to the ground as possible. Bracing our hands either on our thigh, shin, or all the way to the ground if we can reach it. And moving those hands back to the center. I'm going to reposition really quick, just so you guys can get a better feel for what we're going to be doing next. From this center position, I want you to either bend your knees so you can get your hands down to the ground and walk both feet back and in so our legs are about hip width apart. We're going into our downward dog position. Both legs are straight. We're going to press those shoulders down, opening up our shoulders, trying to get our heels to touch the ground, stretching out our whole posterior chain here. Let's bend that right knee, keeping that left leg nice and straight, actively trying to press that left heel down into the ground. Focusing that stretch a little bit more on that left side. And switch, straightening that right leg, bending that left, actively pressing that right heel down to the ground. Good, go ahead and straighten both legs and then slowly lower on down to your hands and knees. We're going to do a few stretches here with our shoulders stacked right over our wrists and our hips stacked right over our knees. We're going to begin first by just gently rocking our shoulders and hips side to side. One more rock to each side. Good. We're going to do some tail wags today. So for these tail wags, we're going to begin by lifting that right foot up off the ground. Our right knee is still firmly planted on the ground. But what we're going to do here is we're going to swivel our right foot out. And we're going to take our head and we're going to try to look over that right shoulder, looking for that foot here. Once we've gone as far as we can, we're going to swivel that right foot in over that left. And then we're going to take our head and look over that left shoulder, trying to spot that foot. And then we're going to repeat. We're going to do 3 to each side, working on that external and internal hip rotation here. Always looking over that shoulder, trying to spot our foot. Getting a little bit more range of motion each repetition. Last one in this direction. And back to center. Lowering that right foot down. We're going to switch and lift that left foot off the ground, keeping our knee firmly planted. We're going to swivel out towards the left, looking over our left shoulder, and then switch, swiveling over towards the right, looking over that right shoulder, and repeat. Working on that range of motion, trying to get just a little bit farther each time. Let's do one more in each direction. Good, go ahead and lower that left foot down. We're going to move and lay down on our stomach. We're going to do a little bit of extension here. So once we're laying on our stomach, I want you to place your legs and feet together. Our hands are going to be right underneath our shoulders. We're going to keep our hips flat on the ground, and we're going to press up, lifting our chest up, lengthening through that spine. We're trying to see if we can straighten our arms all the way. If this is too much, you can also rest down on your forearms here, pressing those hips into the ground, lifting our chin up, focusing on that lengthened position, taking nice deep breaths. One more inhale, and exhale, lowering back down to the ground. We're going to stretch our quads out next. So we're going to start on our right side. We're going to bend our knee, keeping our hips flat into the ground. We're going to, if we're able to, reach back, grabbing that foot with our right hand. And we're going to actively pull our heel towards our glutes, stretching out the front of our thighs here. If we're unable to reach back and grab our foot, you can just actively pull that right heel towards your glutes without any assistance. You can also be using a stretching strap, or if you have any pets and you have a leash, you can also use that to hook around your ankle and then pull down using that strap as well. Those are just a couple of variations for if we're not able to reach back with our hands. One more deep breath here. And releasing that right foot, straightening it back down. Switching sides, bending that left leg up, reaching back if we're able to, and actively pulling that heel towards our glutes. Hips are flat on the ground. Two more deep breaths in this position. And releasing our foot, lowering it back down. We are going to move back to our hands and knees, pressing up through our hands. We're going to shift back, and we're going to place our feet together. Our knees are going to be wide, about shoulder width apart. And we're just going to sink our hips down towards our heels, walking our hands out, working on rounding that low back, stretching out our shoulders. Feel free to rest your forehead down on the ground. As we're breathing in this position, I want you to feel your belly pressing into your thighs as you inhale. And then I want you to try to pull your belly away from your thighs as you exhale through your mouth. Focusing on that deep breathing, letting our body relax. Good. We're going to hold this position. We're going to take our right hand and we're just going to stack it right on top of our left hand. And then we're going to sink back down, lowering our shoulders and chest towards the ground. And let's switch, moving our right hand back to its starting position. We're going to stack our left hand on top and then sink back down, lowering your head and chest towards the ground, relaxing into the stretch. One more deep breath. And exhale, coming on out of that. Slowly moving on up. We're going to be moving into a seated position next. For these seated stretches, I want you just to find a comfortable position, either seated on the ground, or if sitting on the ground isn't the most comfortable for you, feel free to move to a chair or your couch and just have a seat. We're going to be focusing on that upper body next. So let's start with our hands down at our sides. We're going to pull our shoulders down away from our ears. And we're just going to begin with a few shoulder blade squeezes. So we're going to pull our shoulder blades together, squeezing. Your hands might move back behind your body. And then we're going to relax and try to pull those shoulder blades apart. And then repeat, pulling those shoulder blades together, opening up that chest. And then exhale, relax, rounding those shoulders forward, pulling our shoulder blades apart. Let's do 2 more. Chest open, shoulder blades squeeze together. And then round, shoulder blades pull apart. Last one here. Do that nice squeeze, chest opener. And then relax and round those shoulders forward one last time. And then relax out of that as well. We're going to end with some neck rolls. So this next one, you can just place your hands right in your lap or relax them down at your sides. But we're going to begin by bringing our head over towards the right, pulling that right ear to our right shoulder. We're going to drop our head down, circling it forward, chin pulls to chest, and then circling back, left ear pulls to left shoulder, and then up towards the ceiling and back over towards the right. We're going to repeat. And we're going to do 3 circles in each direction, taking it nice and slow, exaggerating that whole range of motion. Feeling that stretch on all sides of our neck. Once we've done 3 full circles, we're going to circle our head back, looking up to the ceiling, over to the left, and then down to your chest before we end over towards the right. We're doing 3 full circles in this direction as well. Once you've completed that 3rd circle, go ahead and lift your head back up to your neutral position. Shake those arms out. And if you're seated on the ground, feel free to move up to your standing position, because that is all of these stretches that I have for you guys today. So thank you for joining me. This was Sunrise Stretch. My name's Amber Lankford. I hope you feel a little bit less tension and you're ready to get right back into your Tuesday. See you next time.
Thank you.